Thank you very much. Good afternoon. First off, let me say that I am so pleased that so many of you would come to honor our dear friend, colleague, mentor, family member, Larry Massing. My name is Ed Campy. I have the honor and the privilege of being the chairman of the board of the Martin County Commission. But today, my much more proud title is Larry Massing's friend, like all of you. Larry's death is tragic. It's tragic, like every death is, but Larry was such a remarkable person as an individual outside of his professional career, but even as a professional. He gave so much of himself to our community, to all of you. That's why you're here. His family's here, and the last thing I want today to be is a sad day. It's a celebration of a life well lived. Too short, no doubt, but well lived. Larry, you know, when we had the opportunity to meet in Jensen to celebrate him, seems like yesterday, but I know it was a long time ago, I keep having an expression in my head that we should live like Larry. He was there for everyone. If you knew him professionally and you needed help, he was there. If you knew him like we did as commissioners, he was always there. I would call him because, you know, constituents call and they say, hey, we have a problem. We need it. It's urgent. We need help. We don't do that. We call our professional staff. And Larry, I remember one of the last times I spoke to him when he was still actively working. He answered the phone. I told him what the issue was. He says, I will get on it. And then 3 or 4 days later, I found out he was on vacation with his family. But he still picked up the phone. I'm sure his family was annoyed with that, but he still picked up the phone, never said anything about that I was disrupting him, and he said he would handle it, and a couple hours later, it was handled. We need to live like Larry.
Larry was always an innovator looking for ways for how do we grow our staff, how do we provide opportunities for folks to start out in a lower position and grow through the organization to become a building official or to always continuous learning and continuous advancement. And those are things I think he often brought to the county was, as Commissioner Campy said, he was always available. His phone, he would answer it at any given time, and he was always there to help us find solutions to make our community better. I think it's a great honor that, and I appreciate the commission thinking of our staff member that way, Larry's contributions in naming this building. And it's a great testament to him for all that are here today. So many in the construction industry, in the building industry, in engineering and planning, and citizens that have had to engage with him over the years, and CRA members, and all the different types of professions that Larry touched, realtors. You know, people would call with a panic, you know, what do I do with this code enforcement violation on here? And always finding ways to help people succeed.
When I came to Florida over 25 years ago, Larry was one of the first people I ever met. And at the time, he was the fire chief and the building official in the city of Stern. And I got to know him and really respected him for his talents, his intelligence. And I got to know Larry over time, working with him the outside, and then I came to work for Martin County in 2010, and we worked together in different departments and whatnot. And there's this thing that they call, every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, there's the county administrator at the time called it a leadership meeting. But Larry had another name for it with some others in it, and they called it obedience training. So we would get in the corner and Larry would tell me all about obedience training. So, and I do want to put a footnote that now we have different administrators. No one calls it that anymore. Glad I remembered that part. But in those meetings, it was funny because when you're in those, you know, there's some humor, there's some business and all those. And Larry always had the attitude that, you know, he was going to get it done and he was going to have some fun doing it.
If you had a problem in this business, you know it's urgent, and time is money for our professional friends. But if we told you Larry was handling it or Larry was on it, you could rest assured it was handled. But there is a longer legacy. You know, Larry will leave a beautiful legacy, and it is his children, his wife, and his family. And a lot of them are here today, made it their business to travel in from out of town. So for them to see all of us locals here for Larry, it's remarkable. But one of the best legacies Larry will ever have is his son, Justin. Justin would like to come up and say a few words.
Hi, everyone. I'm extremely grateful to have been given the opportunity to speak today at today's official dedication ceremony of the Larry Massing Building. My family and I would like to begin by first thanking the Martin County Board of Commissioners and everyone else who made today possible. We'd also like to thank all of you for attending. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Justin Massing, and I'm Larry's eldest son. For as long as I can remember, my father was dedicated to protecting and serving the public. Initially joining Stuart Fire Rescue in 1974 as a first responder, he retired in 2005 as fire chief and subsequently became Martin County's building official, which he held for 17 years until his passing last year. During this time, he helped raise and shape me and my two brothers, where he shared his values of integrity, kindness, and altruism. Growing up, I always viewed my father's work as a defining part of who he was, given his strong impact on the community and those around him. However, he was much more than that to me and my family. I therefore thought I would briefly share a few of my personal experiences with my father growing up that I get to share daily with my son, Torsten, who my father never had the chance to meet. I'll go a little improv here. One thing that my dad used to do all the time was embarrass me, so I figured I'll take this opportunity to embarrass Torsten for the first time. So if you get a chance to meet him, he's the one in the stroller. So yeah. All right. From 2016 to 2022, I commuted 2 hours daily for work in Michigan. Each day, my father and I would talk on my way to and from work, where we would share what was going on at work, at home, and whatever else was on our minds. This was also my favorite time to share new jokes and puns with him, many of which I had heard on the Bob and Tom Show. While probably not the most appropriate show to listen to with children, I fondly remember listening to this with Dad throughout elementary school. My son and I continued this tradition every morning on our way to daycare. Dad and I would also listen to Garrison Keillor, A Prairie Home Companion during high school on the weekends. Torsten and I recently started listening to this so that I can share some of my fondest memories of Dad with him. The dedication of the Larry Massing Building means so much to all of us, and I look forward to bringing Torsten here when he's older so that he can learn how much Dad meant to his community. The dedication of this building would have meant so much to my dad. Finally, I thought I would close with a Garrison Keillor quote that I have found comforting since losing my father. The living wander away. We don't hear from them for months, years, but the dead move in with us to stay. Thank you.
And as Larry would like it, short and sweet, we'll draw this dedication to a close. And all I would remind you to do is live like Larry. And I see Lawson here in the front, and he is, again, a remarkable legacy to our community. He's a very talented artist. He works with the Visionary School of the Arts, and his work is beautiful. So Larry's family, his immediate family, his extended family's here. Please take a moment to say hello to him. And you know, what's interesting is Carlia would call me a couple of times, and it would show up on my phone as Larry Massing. And for a split second, I felt like it was Larry. God bless your family, and God bless all of you. Thank you very much.